Okay, we're good.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the very first official council meeting of 2026. This evening, we will start with the Committee of the Adjustment meeting, so I'd like to welcome members of council, members of staff, members of media joining us today in the gallery. I'll note that Councillor Kennedy is joining us virtually today, and we would like to welcome anybody else who's joining us virtually on this snowy evening in Wawa. We will begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathering on the land that has been inhabited by Indigenous people since time immemorial. We would like to recognize that we're in the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and the land on which we are gathered today is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. Specifically, we acknowledge the neighboring community of Mishpahn First Nation, for whom we have great respect. We also recognize the contributions of all Indigenous people, including the Métis Nation of Ontario, in shaping and strengthening the community and province of Ontario. Thank you, and miigwech. We'll now move on to item number 2, approval of the agenda. 2.1, approval of the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the agenda for the Committee of Adjustment meeting scheduled for Tuesday, January 21st, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest.
None.
Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to item number 4, approval of minutes. 4.1, Committee of Adjustment meeting Tuesday, September 16th, 2025.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Hoffman. Resolved that the following minutes of the Municipality Wawa Committee of Adjustment be adopted as presented. Minutes of a Committee of Adjustment meeting held on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, as contained on pages 1 to 3, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 5, new business. 5.1, approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the Municipality Wawa Committee of Adjustment does hereby approve the actions of the Secretary Treasurer with respect to the notification of the following applicant. Application for minor variance A1-26 at 126 Regina Crescent, Mr. Jordan Belt, Plan M293, Lot 64, Parcel 5848 in Municipality Wawa. The purpose and effect of the minor variance application is to permit the construction of a garage measuring 33 feet by 40 feet that exceeds the minimum side yard setback, maximum accessory building height, and maximum lot coverage restrictions as set out in the Municipality Wawa zoning bylaw 2821-15 as under zoning designation R1 residential first density. As follows. Number 1, reduce the side yard setback from 1.2 meters to 0.76 meters. Increase the maximum accessory building height from 4.5 meters to 5.27 meters. And increase the maximum accessory building lot coverage from 10% of lot area to 11.2%.
All in favor? Carried. 5.2, application for minor variance. 126 Regina, Mr. Belt. We'll start off with the Committee of Adjustment report.
Thank you, and then on behalf of Kevin Saparand, who is attending Building Code session in Sault Ste. Marie today, I present his report to Council. As you heard in the resolution, this is for 126 Regina Crescent, Mr. Jordan Belt, who proposes to construct a garage referred to as an accessory building on his property. And there are some slight variations to what is set out in the zoning bylaw as permitted side yards, maximum lot coverage, and height that Mr. Belt would like the committee to consider approving. As of today's date, we've received no correspondence for or against the application. As you can see in report of the building official, it has been reviewed and reviewed against provincial and municipal land use planning and other pertinent legislation. Based on the fact that the proposed variants are quite small on the building coverage, the zoning bylaw allows 10% of the lot to be covered in accessory buildings. The request is only increasing to 11.2%. The side yard setback is 1.2 meters in their zoning bylaw. And he's proposing to only go 0.76 meters, so it's about a 0.44 meter difference, half a meter difference. And then the building height would be requested variance of 1.2 meters, or approximately 4 feet higher than what's set out in the zoning bylaw. And for, after review and consideration of legislation, any comments received, the building inspector is recommending council approve the application.
Thank you very much, Maury. I'll open the floor to questions from council. Councillor Hoffman, do you have any questions or comments? Thank you. Councillor Rapato?
And none of the neighbors have complained about anything? Okay,
Councillor Cannon, do you have any questions or comments?
I'm okay with it.
Thank you. Councillor Hatfield?
I do have one question. Maury, because of the flack that we really took a lot of on the house on Superior, it's not anywhere near that. It's beside the house in the back.
It's in the back, yeah.
Thank you.
Maury, I seem to have made a note, but I wasn't able to get it. Was the province going to implement a policy or regulation stating that these small minor requests are to not come to council? Are you able to refresh my memory on that?
You're absolutely right, Mayor. The province did approve and pass legislation that makes changes to the Planning Act, and one of those changes they made is an as of right, they call it, that anyone who is within 10% of what a council would set out in its zoning bylaw, and you're within 10% of that requirement, then it does not have to come to council, it's automatically approved. So as an example, sorry, I used the feet versus the meters, but in most of the lots and residential areas in the community, you have to have a 4-foot side yard between your lot line and any buildings. So now, if you came and your 3 feet, tell me with the math, 3 feet, 8 inches, your 10% is 4 inches on 4 feet, they could automatically build. So you're right. The reason this doesn't fall under that is the province passed the legislation but didn't pass the regulations yet. And so though they've stated that's their intention, they're still working and giving a public comment period and coming up with those. So you're right. So not having done the math, but something like a 10-foot, a 10% lot coverage and coming with 11, it would likely follow under any new regulation that would say, if you're plus or minus 10%, you can still go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that. So we'll watch for that in the future. And I think the only other comment I'd like to make is please pass on our thanks to the residents for continuing to invest in the community. We've started to see more and more of these applications, and I think it's good news for our community as people are investing. With no other comments I see from council, I will move on to item 5.3, approve application A1-26.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, second by Councillor Hoffman, resolved that minor variance application 126 submitted by Mr. Jordan Belt for minor variance to Wawa zoning bylaw 2821-15 as amended, respecting 126 Regina Crescent, be approved with the following conditions: that the approved variance applies only to the proposed garage as shown on the approved drawings attached to the notice of decision. The accessory garage building should not be used for human habitation or an occupation for gain. And number 3, the owner applicant shall provide the building department with a copy of the decision of the committee together with a copy of the approved drawings when they make an application for the building permit.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, adjournment. 6.1, adjournment.
Resolved that, moved by Councillor Hoffman, second by Councillor Hatfield, resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 6:38 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. We'll now move on to our Committee of the Whole meeting. Item number 1, call the meeting to order and note the members present at 6:39 p.m. Item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest.
none.
Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the agenda. 3.1, approval of the agenda. May I please have somebody make a motion to approve? Councillor Hatfield, seconded by Councillor Rapato. All in favor? Carried. Item number 4, adoption of minutes. 4.1, Committee of the Whole meeting, Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. May I have somebody make a motion to approve? Counselor Hoffman, seconded by Counselor Opato. All in favor? Carried. Item number 5, monthly reports. We have 5 monthly reports on the agenda today, and as per our standard practice, I'll ask council to please ask any questions regarding the information that was presented, and I'll start with Counselor Hoffman.
For Dan? No, how's snow removal going?
It's going.
Oh, I see the snow blower is in action.
Yes, it is.
And how long you think it's gonna take?
I can't say. I'm not sure. It's gonna work night and day.
With certainly, you can, I'm sure you can guarantee that we'll be done by June.
I hope so. Weather permitting.
Do you have any other questions, Counselor Hoffman? Counselor Opato?
I don't have any.
Thank you. Counselor Cannon?
I just have a couple. I don't see Heather there, so maybe Maury, you could answer the one question? She's
Yes.
got it in her report. She's got for the amount of staff from January to December. In January, she has 45 staff, but then in June, May and June, she has 36. Is it you have less staff in the summer than you do in the winter?
No, thank you, Counselor Cannon. I will double check those numbers. Perhaps they were inverted because we do have more employees in the summer. It could just be a flip of the numbers, but I will confirm what the numbers are and report back to council what exactly those numbers are.
Okay, thanks. And I have one question for Maggie. You say in your report that you supported a young person with their goal of creating a youth center in Wawa. Can you elaborate on that or tell us more?
A young person came to me in October with the idea, very passionate creating a mighty goal and a very difficult task. I worked together with Community Center, with Elko specifically, and youth on Saturday. And hopefully that can showcase that there is a need and an interest for more youth activity in Wawa.
That's exciting. Can you keep us informed?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Cannon. Counselor Hatfield?
No, I don't have anything.
Well, thank you very much. Those were excellent receives from staff. And we will move on to item number 6, our next meeting date, 6.1, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. And we will move to adjourn. 7.1, close of meeting at 6:43 p.m.
Second.
May I please have a mover? Counselor Hoffman? Counselor Paddle? All in favor? Carried.
We're ready to go straight to regular when council's ready.
Could
Certainly.
well, the rest of the meeting, but do you always sit through the whole meeting? No, I just wondered because I thought after you've done your report and the snow's been crazy, you probably just want to get up and go home, but,
It's okay. It's a short meeting, I'll stay.
okay. Thank you.
So we will we will begin our regular council meeting. Item number 1, call to order and note the members present at 6:44 p.m. Item number 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest.
Done.
Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to approval of the agenda. 3.1, approval of the agenda.
Moved by Councillor Pato, seconded by Councillor Hatfield. Resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of council scheduled for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026 be approved as presented.
All in favor? Carried. There are many announcements and giving of notice, and I encourage everybody to please take a look. Are there any announcements from staff? Or from council, sorry. I did want to take this opportunity to update council on our most recent trip to Roma, the Rural Ontario Municipal Association. Myself, Councillor Opato, and Maury returned last night from being at Roma. We, of course, Councillor Opato and I will work to provide a written report of the events, but I wanted to let everybody know, I think overall, we believe it was the most successful Roma conference that we've attended to date. It was extremely busy with many, many important delegations. With not only our fellow, with others, were really, really good. I believe that we're better prepared when we meet with the ministers. We're becoming sharper and more focused, and I think it was just overall a really good conference. And I'll ask Councillor Opato if he has anything to add to that.
It was positive because they seemed to be interested and came back with a positive response to us and lots of questions we asked. Whereas other times you go a lot more, did answer in a positive manner on the stuff we were looking for.
So this morning I had hoped, I was optimistic enough at 9 o'clock in the morning to think I would have a written report ready for this council, but my apologies that as the day went on, my optimism waned, and I'll work with Councillor Opato to be prepared for future council meetings with a written report. But all in all, I just wanted to share it was a really great event.
Did you get any money?
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but we'll cross our fingers.
Melanie, do they really concentrate on Northern Ontario?
The whole province is there, but it's rural. It's a rural and remote specific.
Yeah.
And I think they really were very, very genuine. And I think that there was a real interest in WAWA in Northern Ontario. And Maury, I'm not sure if you have anything to add or share from your experience.
Well, two things, and I think it's fair to say thank you to Mayor Pilo and Councillor Opato for not just dealing with adverse weather conditions at this time of year, but they represented the community very well, and I was very proud. I think they did an excellent job of bringing forward, those issues that are affecting our community in negative ways, but also some positive news for ministers and joining forces with the regional mayors. I think one of the ministers or staff said, you're a force to be reckoned with, because in partnership with all the communities, it shows strength in numbers. So thank you to the mayor and Councillor Pato for letting me join in and watching the great job they did. In terms of the Northern Ontario lens at the conference, to Councillor Hatfield's point, I think of a few things. One of the very topical discussions was the Highway 11 3-in-1 lane, 2-in-1 lane matter. That was front and center and a topic of discussion at a lot of sessions, but also at the large ballroom where all the attendees attend. They announced the Rural Ontario Development Program funding that is specific for rural northern municipalities, a $20 million addition to that budget. As the mayor said, we have to wait and see, but certainly the ministers indicated there's a program called NORDS funding, the Northern Ontario Resource Development Program, that ends Wawa received for the last 5 years an extra $100,000 a year in discretionary funding. It wasn't targeted that the council had to use it for specific things. We used it for infrastructure improvement, but it goes to northern communities, small ones, that may be dealing with providing services or dealing with housing demand caused by mines in the area that are outside the boundaries of taxation. And what I took away is the minister really hinted strongly that we may not see the end of that program. So I'm thinking of a lot of things, Councillor Hatfield, that were talked about and shared by whether it be the ministers of the program, and I really felt there was a real emphasis on Northern Ontario. I really liked it, so thank you.
And if there's nothing more to add, we will move on to item number 5, adoption of minutes. 5.1, adoption of minutes.
Moved by Councillor Hatfield, second by Councillor Pato. Resolved that the following minutes of the meetings of council be adopted as presented. Minutes of a regular meeting of council held on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025, as contained on pages 1 to 11, inclusive of the minute book, and minutes of a special meeting of council held on Monday, December 15th, 2025, as contained on pages 1 to 2, inclusive of the minute book.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 6, correspondence. There are various items of correspondence listed, 11 to be exact. So I will, as always, I will ask Maury if she's wants to take the time to highlight any particular ones that need highlighting.
Thank you. I think there's a lot of correspondence to go through, but of note is, I think sharing again, as council's aware, we did conclude the final sale of the property between the M&R and our Danish Wawa Goose, and it has sold and transferred into the hands and ownership of Infrastructure Ontario, which permits now the province to use the property for the building of a new OPP detachment. It is a letter where the Infrastructure Ontario is advising the community, it has been advertised around, that they have done an environmental assessment and they're taking public comments, and so it is a notice showing the property and letting the community know what is going on. And I believe at the bottom there's I think an opportunity for public comment. So that's exciting news to share. The 6.11 I think is a special note, Mayor. You have a letter from a local resident who is concerned about bears in the community and bears' access to our residential garbage. And so they have written a letter to council requesting that the municipality consider community bear-proof bins, so community refuse collection bins placed at strategic locations throughout the community that would be used for the purpose of people could deliver their own residential garbage to these bins, which may or may not, but it may reduce some of the bear interactions in residential areas where they're going after garbage. So I would ask funds received from the resident, but refer it back to staff, and we'll bring forward after review a report or a recommendation for council at the next February 3rd meeting. The author notes that this is done in Chapleau, so staff does need a little time to see how it works there and if there's any ins and outs. And I think I would like to note number 8, new business, Mayor, 8.1, there is the Integrity Commissioner's annual report. The Integrity Commissioner must report to council every year, just with a very short summary of the activity and expenditures of the Integrity Commissioner for the year, which she presents to council, and then it shall be placed on our website. And so there's a section in our website that has all the previous year's reports. So our Integrity Commissioner has done so for council, and the report is attached. And our Integrity Commissioner has a contract with the municipality until the end of this year, and I think it's worth noting. Nothing else, Mayor, unless you had some specific items to share.
I did have a question with regards to moving ahead with item 6.11. Should council pass a resolution, or I suppose not, just making the direction to staff based on your recommendation for staff to take that back and bring a report is sufficient.
You are probably correct, Mayor, probably best to do so. It is more clear for council to do that. No mixed messages, and staff will have their marching orders. In this case, I will remember that moving forward to make sure there is a written resolution, so it's at your discretion whether you require that or not, because staff will report on February 3rd. I guarantee you.
I think,
How big are these bins that she's talking about? And they're not like the ones that Villeneuve has at various sites, like that you open up the lid.
they are, yes.
Yeah, the same thing, but the bears can get into those.
No, they're, well, I think Maury will come back with a report, or staff will come back with a report, but they have specially designed lids, and they're apparently work well other places, but I think I'm very happy to defer to staff or to come back to February 3rd. I'm seeing shaking heads. So, okay, perfect,
Thank you.
wonderful. Councillor Hatfield?
I just had a question because I can't find where I read it, and it's to Maury. Maury, I read somewhere about the minister doing something about the pop and cans and the beer cans and everything. Did I just read it on a site not from here? Well, I'll have to look at it at home because it's really interesting. They want to help all these communities. So I'm going to try to find it and pass it on to you.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm not aware of any correspondence that's come in to that effect.
Oh, might have been my son that sent it to me too.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh, and they didn't discuss that in Roma?
No. Okay, we will move on to item number 7, consent agenda. 7.1, approval of the consent agenda.
Moved by Councillor Pato, seconded by Councillor Hatfield, resolved that the items listed under the consent agenda 7.2 to 7.3 be approved as recommended.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, new business, 8.1, Integrity Commissioner Report, January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2026.
Moved by Councillor, excuse me, Mayor, I'm sorry, that's just a typo. It should be December 31st, 2025 on the agenda. Moved by Councillor Hoffman, second by Councillor Pato, resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Municipality of Wawa does hereby receive the Integrity Commissioner's Report dated January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 9, bylaws, 9.1, first, second, and third reading.
Moved by Councillor Pato, second by Councillor Hoffman, resolved that the following bylaws be introduced and read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed, and that the mayor and clerk do sign and seal the same, any rules of this council to the contrary notwithstanding. Bylaw number 3847-26 to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on the 21st day of January, 2026. Bylaw number 3847-26 to authorize temporary borrowing from time to time to meet current expenditures during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026. Bylaw number 3848-26 to authorize the purchase and sale of land described as 10 White Drive to Randy Boudreau. And bylaw number 3849-26 to enter into a transfer payment agreement with His Majesty the King and Right of Ontario for funding under the Ministry of Solicitor General to support the municipal fire service in acquiring critical equipment and other needs to improve and enhance the level of fire protection service being provided.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 10, next meeting date, 10.1, Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Now we'll move to adjourn. 11.1, close of meeting.
Moved by Councillor Hoffman, second by Councillor Pato, resolved that the meeting close at 6:59 p.m.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening.
Bye, Kathy.